Okay, 5th graders, so I told you in class before you left that I would like you to write PEDMAs along the side. P-E-D-M-A-S. This is an M, sorry for the mess. And I told you also sometimes people like a little phrase that goes with it. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You'll notice that these change order a little bit. Either way works. Okay, so this means parentheses first, then exponents, then divide or multiply, and then add or subtract. So that just tells us this goes first. And then this is the second most important. That's the third most important, and that's our last. And you'll notice on this one that divide and multiply have switched because it doesn't matter which order you do it in as long as multiply and divide go together. The other thing to keep in mind is always working left to right when you're working with order of operations. Alright, so use pencil because this is kind of a trial and error sometimes. So our first one, I'm going to just give this a try. I might need to erase it. 3 times 2 is 6, and then I'm going to do a quantity right here. 4 divided by 1 is 4. 6 minus 4 equals 2, and it looks like we got it, so we don't need to do anything else with that one. And here, I'm just going to start left to right. 4 plus 3 equals 12, and then I'm going to do my dividing. Right. Well, I don't know if I want to divide yet because I'm looking and thinking 1 divided by 2 is going to be half, and that seems like a strange number. I'm going to go all 3 together. So 4, oops, I said times. Oh, good thing I checked that. 4 plus 3 is 7. Minus 1 would make it 6. And 6 times 2, 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So hey, that works just the way it is. We don't need to fix anything. Next one, I'm going to just try this, see what happens. And I might need to change it. 3 minus 1 is 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 2 plus 2 equals 4, so that works also. This one, we need to make 7 names that equal 8. I can only use numbers that are less than 10, and I need to use at least 3 different operations, so that means add, subtract, multiply, or divide. I need to use 3 of those, and I need to use parentheses. So numbers that are less than 8, nope, less than 10, sorry, that equal 8. I'm going to try 6 minus 4, and that equals 2. I'm going to put it in parentheses, so I do that first. And then 2 times 3, so that leaves me at 6. And then I need to add another 2 to get it up to 8. So I've got subtract, multiply, and add, and I have some parentheses in here. So I think I should be okay. I could do a nested parentheses if I wanted to, but order of operations says I could just multiply by 3 also. Alright, so there's 1. You're on your own for the next 6. It does say to skip these 2 until you get to problem number 7. So these are on your own. Keep in mind that they need to be less than 10, 3 different operations, and you need to use parentheses. This one down here, they're done for you, but they're kind of showing you that you need to use these nested parentheses. That means you do the inmost parentheses first. So you need to do that 5 times 6 first, and then work your way out. So this would be 30 plus 2, which would equal 32, divided by 4, which would equal 8. So that nested parentheses, do the inmost one first, and then work your way out. So we're going to have to add some of those nested parentheses here. We want it to equal 1. 4 plus 1 will equal 5. 5 minus 3, if we did a nested one here. 5 minus 3 would equal 2. And 2 divided by 2 would equal 1. So that would work like that. Let's try one here. 4 times 3 is 12. And then we could add another one and say 12 divided by 2 would equal 6, and 6 plus 1 would equal 7. So we could leave it just like that. Now down at the bottom with our practice, this is just should be review, but sometimes gets a little tricky. I'm going to switch pens so you can see a little bit better. And I like to switch the order. It's okay to have the answer first. There's nothing wrong with it. I just think better if I do it this way. So I'm going to do 1 and 1/12 plus something. I'm going to leave that A blank equals 2 and 5/12. So I'm going to focus on the 12ths first. 1/12 plus something to equal 5/12. I think I want 4/12 here. 1, in my numerators, 1 plus 4 will equal 5, and I keep the same denominator. Now my whole number was 2, and I have a 1 here, so I must need a 1 here. So I think I want 1 and 4/12 for that one, for an A. And you might even consider reducing this, so it could also equal 1 and, 1 and 1/3 also. I'm going to go over to number 9 here. This was the work for number 8. Pull this down quick so we stay focused. Number 9 tells us we have to do what's in parentheses first. And I'm looking at, I'm going to solve this part right here, just so I know what I'm multiplying by. 2 times 2, that means it's squared, not 2 times the exponent 2, but 2 times itself. 2 times 2 is 4, even though 2 times 2 is also 4. But, so I need something, I'm going to multiply something by 4 to get it to equal 12. So I'm thinking in my mind, this quantity needs to be 3, because 3 times 4 will equal 12. So I'm going to move it down here. 1 1/2 plus what will equal 3? Well, 1 1/2, like $1.50, plus another 1 1/2, or another $1.50 will equal 3. And then if I multiply that times 4, so this total would be 3. 3 times 4 would equal 12. So my P, or my variable here, must be 1 1/2. Number 10, one of those fraction ones again. So I'm going to just rewrite it down here. I'm going to look at just the 5/8 first. What do I need to add to 5/8 to get it to 15/8 on the other end? Well, I would believe that would be 10/8. And now I need to look at the whole number. The whole number over here is 7. And I already had 6. So 6 plus 1 would make it 7. So I think this is what I'm wanting here for D. 1 and 10/8. Unless I wanted to rearrange it. Now my answer key says that this is actually 2 and 2/8, and I'm not quite seeing how 2 and 2/8 gets in there. So if you are finding that at home and it is really truly me that's in error, let me know tomorrow, because I'd like to see what it is. Number 11, I'm going to change this right away to a decimal, because I see that this is a decimal, and I think I would feel more comfortable if this was a decimal. So I'm going to multiply it by 2/2, and I know some of you can do this mentally, and I get 4/10. Now 6 and 4/10 I can write a lot easier. 6 and 4/10 on that side minus y equals 6 and 4/10. Well, now it's pretty simple. This has to be 0. Alright, make sure your name is on it, and we're all done. Thanks for working with me today.